Ladies and gentlemen, in a world that seems constantly at war with itself, it's easy to get caught in the rush of emotions. Life can feel like an endless series of challenges. People let us down, situations don't go as planned, and frustration can creep in like a shadow. But what if I told you that there is power in responding to these trials with a quiet strength? What if we could learn to act as though nothing bothers us? Let me tell you the key to peace, the key to resilience begins from within. It's easy to let the external world dictate our inner state, but what if you made the decision today to let your peace be untouchable? What if you could move through the chaos and still stand strong, unshaken? You see, true strength isn't about never feeling troubled. It's about choosing how you respond, no matter what life throws your way. When challenges come, and it's all about perspective. How do you look at the situation in front of you? Do you see it as a wall that stops you in your tracks, or as a hurdle that helps you grow? When you can learn to face difficulties with the mindset that they're just stepping stones toward becoming the best version of yourself, you unlock a strength you didn't even know was there. Now, we can't control everything that happens to us. We can't dictate the behavior of others or predict what tomorrow will bring, but we can control our response. That's the secret. The world may be filled with chaos, but you have the power to stay calm. Emotional maturity comes when you recognize that nothing on the outside can disturb your peace unless you allow it. There's something powerful about silence, about choosing not to engage in every petty moment or negative comment. You don't have to respond to every provocation. You don't have to rise to every challenge. Sometimes the greatest strength is the ability to remain still, to stay rooted, to act like nothing bothers you, because in that space you can hear your own wisdom, your own heart guiding you forward. Building resilience is a lifelong journey, but the first step is knowing that strength is not about being unbreakable. It's about bouncing back when you feel shattered. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, when you embrace the bumps, the bruises, and the cracks, you realize that those very things make you more beautiful, more capable. The storms will come, but they can't take away your power unless you allow them to. And let's talk about timing. You don't have to have it all figured out today, tomorrow, or next year. Life unfolds on its own schedule. Trust the process. Trust that the right opportunities, the right people, and the right moments will come when you least expect them. When you learn to act as though nothing bothers you, you begin to trust that everything is unfolding just as it's meant to. One of the greatest tools I've learned on this journey is to stop taking things personally. How many of you find yourself stressed out or hurt by things people say or do? Let me remind you, their actions are a reflection of them, not of you. You are not responsible for how others behave. When you stop internalizing every little comment, every glance, you will find a sense of freedom that allows you to breathe again. Lastly, understand this: striving for perfection is exhausting. Perfectionism robs you of peace, but peace is something you can cultivate, something you can choose. So today, choose peace. Choose to act as if nothing bothers you, not because you're pretending, but because you know that true peace doesn't come from controlling every situation, but from controlling your inner world. Friends, life is full of storms, but it's in the calm center of those storms that you will find your strength. Choose peace over perfection, resilience over frustration, and faith over fear. When you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you will unlock the greatest version of yourself. Thank you. When we talk about inner strength, we're not talking about muscles or physical endurance. We're talking about a power that runs deeper than the surface. It's that quiet, steady force that comes from within, a place where no storm can reach, no situation can disturb, and no person can shake you. Inner strength is what allows you to face life's challenges with a calm assurance, even when the world around you seems to be falling apart. It's easy to get distracted by what's happening outside of us. We often think that our happiness, our peace, or our stability depends on the circumstances, the people, or the outcomes of the situations around us. But I'm here to tell you that your true strength lies within you. It's not external, it's something you can tap into at any time, no matter what's going on in the world around you. Imagine a storm raging outside, the wind howling, the rain pouring, the thunder cracking through the sky. In the middle of that storm, there's a calm, quiet center, the eye of the storm. And just like that, your inner strength is your calm center. The world may be chaotic, but if you can learn to tap into your inner peace, you will find that the chaos outside will no longer have power over you. This strength doesn't come from never feeling tired, never feeling hurt, or never experiencing pain. No, inner strength comes from knowing that despite everything you face, you have the ability to keep going, to keep moving forward. It's the courage to stand tall in the face of adversity, even when the world around you is urging you to fall. It's about being in touch with the truth of who you are. It's about recognizing that your value doesn't depend on anyone's approval, any situation's success, or any external circumstance. You are enough just as you are, and when you tap into that truth, there is nothing in this world that can shake you. When you understand your inner strength, you realize that challenges are not enemies to be feared. Instead, they are opportunities to deepen that strength. Every setback, every obstacle, every failure is a chance for you to dig deeper, to connect more fully with your own power, and to emerge even stronger than before. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you choose to remain calm in the face of chaos, to respond with grace in moments of stress, to hold your ground when life tries to push you down, you are building your inner strength. You are not just surviving, you are thriving, becoming more resilient, more unshakable, more rooted in the truth of who you are. And here's the beautiful thing about this strength, it's always there, ready to be awakened. No matter how many times life knocks you down, your inner strength will always be there to lift you back up. It's like a reservoir within you waiting to be tapped when you need it most. You don't have to look outside for validation, for courage, or for strength. It's already inside you, just waiting for you to recognize it, trust it, and embrace it. So understand this: when you tap into your inner strength, you stop relying on the things outside of you to give you stability. You stop depending on the approval of others, the outcome of your situations, or the behavior of those around you. You become anchored in your own power, and no matter what life throws your way, you know that you can handle it. You have everything within you to not just survive, but to thrive. And when you learn to act from this place of inner strength, nothing will ever truly bother you again. Challenges are a natural part of life, but they don't have to be seen as roadblocks or signs of failure. What if I told you that the struggles we face are not the things standing in the way of our success, but the very things that help us grow and step into the fullness of who we're meant to be? It's all about perspective. When you begin to shift your perspective on challenges, you realize that every obstacle is not a problem to avoid, but an opportunity to rise. You see, too often we look at challenges and think they are there to defeat us. We see them as interruptions, as things that are out of our control, as burdens we have to carry. But what if instead of seeing them as obstacles, we saw them as stepping stones? What if every challenge we face was a lesson in disguise designed to prepare us for something greater? Life doesn't throw difficulties at us because it's trying to break us. It throws them at us because they are the exact conditions needed to make us stronger, more capable, and more resilient. When you change the way you view the struggles you face, you realize that they are not personal attacks, they are part of your personal development. Think about it. Every time you have overcome something difficult in your life, whether it was a loss, a failure, a disappointment, you didn't just survive it, you learned from it. You became wiser, stronger, more equipped to handle what comes next. The challenges you face today are preparing you for the challenges of tomorrow and for the greatness that lies ahead. In fact, every setback is a setup for a comeback. The struggles you experience today could very well be the thing that leads you to your breakthrough. Maybe that job you didn't get, that relationship that didn't work out, or that business venture that failed was exactly what you needed to learn a critical lesson. Maybe it was meant to redirect your steps towards something far greater than you could have imagined. Life has a way of rearranging things when we think we have everything figured out. It shifts us, molds us, and pushes us in directions that are beyond our understanding, but always for our good. When we see challenges through this new lens, we begin to develop a different kind of courage, the kind of courage that doesn't run from difficulties but leans into them. The kind of courage that recognizes that nothing worth having comes easily. It's the kind of courage that says, yes, this is hard, but I know I can handle it. I am more than capable of overcoming this. I've done it before and I will do it again. The more we embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, the more we begin to trust that we are equipped to handle whatever life throws our way. Every obstacle is an invitation to become a better version of yourself. It's a chance to sharpen your character, to expand your mindset, and to build the strength you need for the next phase of your journey. When you stop viewing challenges as something to fear or avoid, you start to see them as a necessary part of your evolution. You realize that these very struggles are what will mold you into the person you are destined to become. And when you begin to shift your perspective on challenges, you will notice something amazing. Your peace, your sense of control, and your confidence will grow. You will no longer feel like a victim of your circumstances. Instead, you will feel empowered. You will no longer question why me, but instead ask, what is this here to teach me? How is this helping me become the person I'm meant to be? So the next time you face a challenge, instead of seeing it as something that stands, there's a profound truth that many of us overlook in the chaos of life. While we can't control everything that happens around us, we can always control how we respond. The circumstances, the people, the situations, those things may seem beyond our control at times, but the one thing that no one can ever take away from us is the power to choose how we respond. That, my friends, is where our true freedom lies. How often do we find ourselves feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, or upset by things outside of our control? Maybe it's a difficult person in your life, a setback in your career, or an unexpected detour in your plans. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that our happiness and peace are tied to how things unfold in the world around us. We think if only this would change, then I'd feel better, or if that person would just treat me differently, then I could be at peace. But the reality is that waiting for the world to change in order to find peace is an exhausting pursuit. True peace doesn't come from changing the external. It comes from shifting our perspective on the internal. You have the power to choose your response no matter what's going on around you. Think about it. Every time you let something or someone disturb your peace, you are giving away your power. You are allowing the outside world to control your emotional state. But when you recognize that your reaction is yours to control, you begin to reclaim that power. You begin to understand that the situations that feel like they're holding you back are really just opportunities for you to rise above them. It's not about pretending that everything is fine when it's not. It's not about ignoring the hurt or the discomfort. It's about acknowledging what's happening and then making a conscious choice in how to respond. You don't have to react impulsively, emotionally, or out of frustration. Instead, you can pause, breathe, and choose a response that aligns with your peace, your values, and your goals. When we learn to control our response, we stop being at the mercy of every situation, every person, and every unpredictable twist of fate. We stop letting life push us around. We start to walk with more confidence, more calm, and more self-assurance because we know that no matter what happens, we are in control of how we respond. You can face a storm with grace. You can face adversity with calm. And even when things don't go according to plan, you can still choose to move forward with purpose. The beauty of this lies in the fact that when you control your response, you also control your emotional state. You decide whether you want to stay in a place of frustration or whether you want to shift your focus toward peace. You decide if you will let the challenge consume you or if you will rise above it and keep going. You hold the key to your own inner peace. And when you make the decision to stay calm, grounded, and focused, the chaos around you will have less and less power over you. The more you practice this, the more you begin to see life as something that doesn't happen to you, but something you navigate. You are not a passive passenger on this journey. You are the captain of your own ship. And even though storms may come, you have the ability to steer the ship through them. There is incredible power in silence, something so simple yet often so underestimated. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention, where the noise is almost deafening, whether it's the voices of others, the chaos of our thoughts, or the constant buzz of social media. We feel this pressure to always speak, to always act, to always do something. But there is a strength, a profound resilience in choosing silence. Sometimes the most powerful response is not to react at all. It's in the moments of stillness where you find clarity, strength, and wisdom. In a world that rewards noise, it's easy to forget that silence can speak volumes. Think about it in moments of conflict. What happens when you choose not to engage immediately? When someone tries to provoke you, when life throws something unexpected your way, and instead of reacting impulsively, you pause. In that pause, you create space. You give yourself the power to think, to breathe, and to respond in a way that aligns with your values rather than your impulses. Silence gives you the ability to respond from a place of strength instead of emotion. It gives you the chance to clear the clutter in your mind so that you can make decisions that are grounded, calm and thoughtful. In those moments, you are no longer at the mercy of every passing emotion. You are in control. You're able to decide if a situation is worth your energy or if it's something better left unspoken. This is not about avoiding confrontation or running from challenges. It's about recognizing that not every situation requires an immediate or emotional response. When you embrace the power of silence, you step into your own power. You understand that you do not have to justify yourself or defend your worth in every moment. You are already enough. In those moments of silence, you reconnect with your inner peace and align your response with the person you are becoming, not the person you were before. Silence can also be incredibly healing. How often do we find ourselves caught up in the noise of life, where our minds race and we lose touch with who we really are? It's easy to get caught up in what others think of us and what's happening around us, but silence offers an invitation to return to yourself. In the quiet moments, you can hear your own voice, your own truth, and you can tune into the deep knowing that resides within you. It's in those moments that you realize that you don't need to keep up with the noise. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. It's important to understand that silence is not weakness, it's not avoidance, it's strength. It's the kind of strength that allows you to stand tall, unwavering in the midst of confusion or conflict. You don't need to fill every space with words or react to every provocation. In fact, some of the most powerful leaders, the most impactful people, are those who understand the value of speaking less but living more. They know that their actions and their presence speak louder than any words ever could. And let's not forget, silence can also be an invitation to deep reflection. It's in the quiet that we get to know ourselves, our desires, and our purpose. It's in the silence that we gain clarity about where we've been, where we're going, and what truly matters. The noise of the world can drown out our inner voice, but when we allow ourselves to embrace silence, we make space to hear that voice clearly. Building emotional resilience is one of the most transformative things you can do for yourself. Life is full of ups and downs, twists and turns, moments of joy and moments of pain. We all face challenges, disappointments, and unexpected obstacles, but the difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is not the absence of hardship, it's the ability to rise again after every fall. Emotional resilience isn't about being unshakable. It's about knowing that even when you are shaken, you can find your footing and stand tall again. Resilience comes from the quiet strength within that allows you to keep going when the road gets tough. It's about developing the capacity to bounce back when life hits you hard. When things don't go the way you expect, when the world feels heavy and when everything seems like it's falling apart, emotional resilience is what keeps you moving forward. It's the ability to see the storm, feel the pain, but choose not to be consumed by it. Resilience doesn't mean you won't experience hurt, frustration, or sadness. It means that you will face those emotions, process them, and then rise above them. So how do we build this resilience? It starts with acceptance. Life isn't always going to be easy and things won't always go as planned. But instead of resisting what's happening, instead of wishing it were different, emotional resilience teaches us to accept what is even when it's difficult. It's about acknowledging that pain, disappointment, and setbacks are part of the human experience, and they don't define us. They are temporary, they pass. And through them we grow stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Building emotional resilience also means cultivating self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when things go wrong. We start to believe the lie that we're not good enough, that we're somehow to blame, or that we're failing. But resilience is about being gentle with yourself during those tough moments. It's about offering yourself the same grace, patience, and kindness that you would offer a dear friend in times of struggle. When you learn to treat yourself with compassion, you begin to heal quicker, stand stronger, and move forward with more courage. Resilience is built by choosing to rise every single time you fall. It's about developing the habit of getting back up. Even when it feels impossible, life will knock you down, it's inevitable. But what matters is how you rise. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have everything figured out. What's important is that you continue moving forward, no matter how slow or painful the process may seem. The simple act of getting back up time and time again is what builds the muscle of resilience. Sometimes emotional resilience is about asking for help. It's about recognizing that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your own. There is strength in vulnerability, strength in leaning on others when you need support. Resilience isn't about going it alone. It's about knowing when to reach out, when to lean into community, and when to ask for the encouragement you need to keep going. It's also about perspective. When life throws curve, there is something deeply comforting about knowing that your life is unfolding exactly as it should. So often we find ourselves wishing we were somewhere other than where we are, believing that we should be further along or that our lives should look different. We question why things aren't happening the way we envision, why the timing of our dreams seems delayed, or why others seem to be moving ahead while we feel stuck. But I want to remind you today, there is a divine timing to everything, and the timing of your life is not by accident. It's easy to become impatient when you feel like life is moving slower than you'd hope, but what if I told you that every season, every delay, every twist in the road is all part of your unique journey? What if every pause, every detour, and even every setback is actually a moment of preparation? Sometimes we can't see the bigger picture, but trust that there is a plan being woven together behind the scenes, one that is perfectly designed for you. Just because things aren't unfolding in the way you expected doesn't mean they aren't unfolding exactly as they should. We often spend so much energy trying to rush things, to force doors open, to make things happen faster. But life doesn't operate on our timeline, it operates on its own, a rhythm that is beyond our understanding. What we see as delays are often redirections to something far better than we imagine. We might not see it now, but in hindsight, we often realize that the wait, the uncertainty, and the waiting rooms were necessary for our growth and our development. They prepared us for the opportunities that we weren't yet ready for the blessings that we didn't yet know how to handle. So as you move forward in your journey, remember this: the timing of your life is not something to control or rush. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should, even if you can't always see it in the moment. Embrace each season, whether it's a season of growth, patience, or preparation, with faith and gratitude, knowing that every step is leading you to exactly where you're meant to be. You are not behind, you are right on time. Trust the timing, trust the process, and trust that the best is yet to come.